So, Tiffany, is being a CRA really hard? Like, is the work actually difficult?
I would say yes and no. Again, I go back to my number one response. It's dependent on your study and dependent on the sponsor, dependent on the company, what is, like I said, just basically the study, how many visits, how much is captured in the visits, what type of study you're on, if it's a regular monitoring, where it's like 100% monitoring, or if it's the new, like they call it, uh, DDM model, where
The
it's not
date,
100% data driven.
data driven, yeah.
So it really depends. And then I will also say it depends on the site. If you have a very good site, they can make it really easy for you, which can lower the amount of time that you spend cleaning up stuff. If you have a site that's not the greatest, then you have a lot of cleanup to do. So, and, then also if you have instances where site staff members are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, like they're drawing samples, they haven't even been trained on the protocol, you have issues like that. So depending on what kind of issues are at your site, I wouldn't necessarily say it makes it hard, because I would say that it's a pretty, if you just look at it on paper, it can be an easy job. But when you put everything together is when it becomes hard and when it becomes like stressful,
Okay.
because you just have to, you have to deal with the sites, you have to do the in-house work, you have to deal with the sponsor. So yeah, I would just say it's a combination.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because, a lot of people email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com, soft plug,
Mhm.
about like wanting to get into the industry and they want to be CRAs. And a lot of people think, I've got so much experience in this other industry. Why can't I just be a CRA off the bat? So I wanted to ask, is the work actually hard? Do you think it'd be hard for somebody? I mean, I think it'd be impossible for somebody like off the streets, no experience, to be a CRA.
Oh, definitely, because I think there's a lot of regulations and there's a lot of just things that we do, documentation wise and just company wise, and the different SOPs and just different things that you have to abide by. So it's just not a job that you just walk in off the street and do. Like you definitely have to put in the work and learn all of the regulations, learn your company specific SOPs, and what is required from your company because it's different for every company. What is required from the sponsor because each sponsor is different. Each sponsor likes different things. So it's definitely not a job that you would come in and get the hang of in a month.
Right.
It definitely takes some time to learn. But when I say it's somewhat easy, I mean like after you've taken the time to study what you need to study to get the knowledge that you need to get. That's what I mean. I don't mean coming straight in. I mean, you have to have some experience behind you.
Right. So basically, what you mean is after you've put in 4 years of work like you.
And I wouldn't even say 4 years. I would say more than that because even me, I'm still learning
Yep.
different things. Like even when I go out and do, like I was just doing co-monitoring for not one of my sites, but one of the other CRAs that is on my study. I went out to co-monitor with her just because they have so many patients at that site, and it's just. I learned from her, and she's been a senior. She's been doing for 15 plus years. So it's a never ending learning cycle in this job. I feel like you are always learning something. You're always learning from someone, just a better way to do things, an easier way to do things for yourself. Um, and you also have to learn, just within the industry, the guidelines are changing, every day. So you also have to be mindful of that, and just like the new regulations that are coming out, and then um, just sponsor specific stuff, because getting on a sponsor is just a whole different topic
Mm-hmm.
with, like, just their requirements
Right.
and their training requirements.
Oh yeah. We could do a whole nother video just on that.
Yeah, so I say it's definitely not easy and something that you walk in off the street for, but over time I think it becomes, well, maybe easy is not the word for it. Maybe it's just it becomes, you become used to what you're doing and what you're looking for, and like with any job, with the more time that you spend doing it, you become knowledgeable, and it's just easier for you to do because you've been doing it for multiple years.
Got it. All right. That makes a lot of sense. The second question I have for you is, what is the best CRA perk in your eyes?
mm, the best CRA perk for me would be the flexibility.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
Just the flexibility to set up your own schedule, set up when you fly, set up, you know, just the visits in general,
Okay.
and the flexibility to work from home or go in the office if you want to, depending on what company you work for.
Okay. So would you say you work 40 hours a week, more or less? Does it depend on the week?
I would say if I don't travel, I work 40 hours a week. If I travel, it's more.
Okay. All
But
right.
if I do no travel in that week, I can work 40 hours that week.
Okay. Is there any times where it's less?
No.
It's never less than 40.
No.
Okay. Well, there it is.
No, and it's barely 40.
If you're not traveling.
Yeah, if I'm not traveling, it's 40, but it's not a I don't have a lot of those weeks.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much again for
No
these.
problem.
All right, I'll just end it there. What time is that? 1 hour. Okay. Perfect.
I think